Welcome to Beyond the Score podcast. I am your co-host Harry, and we got our fabulous co-host Josh on the other end. Josh, do you want to introduce yourself?
What's going on, y'all? This is Josh. Welcome to your favorite podcast.
Just a quick introduction. We're doing this sports podcast. Josh and I have been going back 15 years. We met freshman year of high school, and our bond was off the bat sports and how we knew sports, learned sports, loved sports. Everything about sports was basically our friendship growing up throughout high school. And one of our first memories was back on the baseball diamond. And also the fact that growing up, the only thing that probably kept us the most in common with was the New York Yankees. We're both from New York, Long Island, high school together. And the Yankees have been our passion. Obviously, I'm wearing a Florida Marlins hat right now, and they beat us in 2003. But, what are you going to do? So,
We spent a lot of years getting to know each other, getting to know what we like about sports, having the same teams that we like, having different teams that we like. We went to Giant Saints games because those are our favorite football teams. Because I had to throw that in there because my boy Michael Thomas behind me over there. And
and
we got
I
to
just
see the
I wanted to
Saints.
cut back in on here. That Michael Thomas um, framed jersey that you have, that has an incredible story, and I need you to share that. Maybe not today, but one day we have to get in on that. That's a special story that I think the whole world does need to hear about. So we'll save that for another day, but it's a special jersey back there, that's for sure.
Yeah, became my favorite player overnight. I mean, we don't really have to get into it now because we're introducing ourselves to the people and to the masses, and I'm just really excited to get going. And this is my guy Harry, and I think that you guys are going to enjoy seeing us agree and disagree. Probably disagree more because when Harry disagrees, you know he's not happy.
We're very passionate about our opinions on the sport, and we have some unique takes on a lot of things that happen. Going into it, we're mostly going to be taking care of the four major sports: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, the American sports. But obviously, that major things that come throughout and all the other categories, we have things that we both like on the side that we might not necessarily love at the same time. Like, I'm a huge F1 fan. Josh is a big, actually, he's a hockey fan more than I am, but another thing that he's big into is soccer. So we're going to be talking about a lot of major things that do happen in
Yeah.
the sports world. Our takes on what happened, how it happened, why it happened, what could have been done. And we also really like to get into the numbers and kind of bring you real stats that people don't necessarily talk about that really do make sense. We like to talk about the money in the
Yeah.
sports, really get into the numbers, and that's what
Hmm.
Beyond the Score is going to be about, right? We want to go beyond just what the score of the game is, right? Who won the game. We want to tell you what happened, how it happened, and why it necessarily happened. And a lot of those points don't really get talked about in the major sports, and we're going to bring you that here. And we want to hear what our audience is going to tell us in return and kind of feed off of each other and share the knowledge that we bring in all the sports that we've come to watch and see. We're going to bring it to you guys in the realest way possible.
Yeah, and I think that to do a good sports podcast, you would be remiss if you left out anything that is going on in the world of sports, especially when you're an appreciator of great athleticism, great talent like myself and Harry are. So I think that there's a lot that we're gonna provide, and I think that we're also very open, like to communication, like when we're not recording on things you would want us to talk about, things that you think would be funny to hear us debate because as you get to know us, you'll know like where we stand, and we're going to try and give you the best show every time, and I'm really confident that we'll be able to do that for you.
Well, we feed off of each other. I mean, we can, delve into a topic and get to the smallest incremental details of something. But we know that in this industry, when it comes to the podcasting world and the sports podcasting world, a lot of people are doing a lot of different things. But we want to show you guys that there's so much out there that people don't discuss and what it could bring into the sports world in the future, because that's essentially what we're looking at, right? How the game is going to change down the line. The last
Mhm.
10 years, the game has changed a lot, right? I mean, in any sport, we've seen so much happen in the last 10 years than we've seen in
Yeah.
50 years before that. So people don't really discuss what's going to continuously happen except when it's relatively concrete. And we feel like the way things are going, certain paths that are taking place are setting up for these things that will happen, whether or not they're discussed mostly or not, or they're going under the radar. We're going to bring that to you as well with the major points. We can talk about any specific topic of a sport for too long.
Mhm.
So we're
Exactly.
lucky to have Ben over here, our producer, who's going to be able to tell us, hey,
Yeah.
stop talking because you guys are going way too overboard. So I just wanted to also give a huge thanks to him. None of this would be possible without Ben in the back, and he's going to definitely be an influence in our
Yeah, for
podcast
sure.
going forward.
Thanks, guys.
And we're gonna really try and talk about, like, we're gonna look at all the leagues. We're gonna try and look at what's going on and try and forecast like what's been going on and what's gonna go on, not in terms of a game by game basis, but how we see the league as a whole. Then I think we're gonna go inside the numbers, like Harry said. I think one thing that we could do really well that isn't really out there is that we dive into the numbers, whether it's stats, whether it's contracts, whether it's all of the different numbers. I think we can provide insight on a different level than other people. Um, and we're also going to touch on some current events because obviously every week, every day, every minute, there's something happening in sports. So I think that we would be remiss to not touch on it. And I think also to make sure that we're staying with it and keeping you guys interested.
That's the goal. And, we're going to continuously do that, right? Delve right into all the details, all the numbers, whether it's stats, whether it's contracts, whether how it affects a team going forward. We're big Yankee fans, so, we're going to talk a bit about the Yankees, but we're not going to focus on them. We don't want to focus on,
Mhm.
specific teams and who we like and all that. We're going to focus on non-biased opinions, and we're going to give you non-biased
Yeah.
opinions because as much as we're fans, we understand that there's another side to things. And if
Mhm.
we're going to focus on just, oh, the Yankees are so great, oh, the Yankees are so great, well, the truth is they're not perfect and they have things that they need to work on. And we're going to talk about that. And what's also great among our friendship is that's the only team we really have in common. Our basketball teams are different. Our football teams are different. Our hockey teams are different. Basically, everything else is different. So you're
Yeah.
going to see a lot of different opinions on where we think our teams, the
Mhm.
league should be going. So, whether it's just the one team that the Yankees will strongly agree on a lot of things, there's going to be a lot of things that we will disagree on. And, these takes are going to be interesting. And we're excited for you
Yeah.
guys to see this because, we've had these conversations in private and we said to ourselves, we need the whole world to hear this because it's the truth and
Yeah.
people don't discuss it. And,
Exactly.
we hear what people are talking about. We're like, yeah, we already knew that. What are you saying that's so different? But here we are.
We're not really looking to have an audience of Yankee fans. We're looking to have an audience of people who love sports as much as we do. And I actually think that people who aren't Yankee fans can give us a little insight into the way other fan bases think, so we could really see like what they really appreciate about their team. And also in doing this, we'll be able to dive a little deeper into these teams. So as lovers of sports, I think that that's something that's really cool that's going to come for us personally. So I think that that's something that'll also make us stronger.
And we definitely want, for anyone who's listening, we want you guys to give us your feedback, your thoughts, what you guys want us to delve into, because we want to hear you guys and what you guys think is important too, right? And we want to hear every single thing. So whatever you guys write in there, we're going to read every single thing, right? We want to really hear our audience. You guys are going to be the ones who are going to drive us to continue doing this. As much as we have a passion to do this together and have a great time just talking about sports, it's going to be you guys who are going to drive us to continue to bring you guys this amazing content. So whatever you guys have for us, please share it, comment it, whatever it is, put it out there for us to see, and we will see it and we will consider it into our chats, and
Mhm.
into our podcast. I'm sorry, from there on, we'll definitely go.
So you guys got to make sure you tune in every week. You'll be able to find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. And we really appreciate you tuning in and look forward to hearing your opinions as well.
And just like the late great Yogi Berra once said, you can observe a lot by watching. We're going to give you that every week. Yogiisms will be coming every single week as a final touch, just so we can send you off with a great quote from a great baseball player.
And the best part is I tell Harry not to tell me what they are so I can have my legitimate reaction for you guys.
Guys, please have a great afternoon, day, week. We will see you guys next week with more content. We're excited to share you guys all our opinions.
Every week.